All right, so Red Star Belgrade and Midtjylland played to a 1-1 draw in the third match day of the Europa League. Um, Truth be told, Red Star had the 1-0 lead. Midtjylland ended up tying it up 20 minutes after Red Star took the lead, so it was about 13 minutes um, from time. Honestly, happy to get away with the 1 point. Uh, Happy to get away with the 1 point. Disappointed that we had the lead and kind of let Midtjylland come back, and overall, maybe we deserve to lose. So that's kind of, you could look at it three different ways. The starting lineup, Sonogo as a center back, Sunic as a midfield player. Didn't like the decision. Sonogo playing or starting as a center back against Ludogorets was fine with me because it was almost in an emergency situation because we just didn't have these center backs, two starting center backs out with the coronavirus. You had Irakovic, Pankov, you had Gobelic who was there, and then it seems like Sonogo jumped in as well. Didn't like him starting when you have options on the bench in Pankov and Irakovic, and would have been nice to see Irakovic start, who's a little bit younger. I think he's a little bit better than Pankov as well. Wouldn't have minded to seen him start. Sunic rarely plays for Red Star Belgrade, but it seems every time there's a big match, he is in the starting lineup. Now, I don't like that because, we whine and complain that we don't have young kids coming out of the academy, that we can't sell, some of the younger players for big money. Well, we had a guy like Petr Stanic on the bench who Stankovic raves about. We have Njegos Petrovic, who hasn't played much, but he's more than capable of filling in that role. And then we start a guy who, barely plays this season at all. Didn't like that either. Falco and Ivanic played behind Ben, who is a false nine. Another issue, the false nine just doesn't work for us. We're way too small as a team. Kunga small in stature, Falco's probably even smaller, and Ben as a number 9, I don't think it just works. Ben, you can use Ben as a false 9, again, if there are no other options. If Pavko is out, which he was out, if Diony is out, he was on the bench, he came on and made a little bit of a difference. If Lazetic isn't there, if all these guys are out, then you can start Ben. But I don't like Ben starting as a number 9 over guys like even Marko Lazetic. Marko Lazetic could have played for the youth team yesterday. Instead, we took him on the trip with us because we were short center of strikers. We didn't use them. I thought that we should have used them because in the first half was just a write-off. We didn't create enough. Midtjylland broke us down fairly easily. You could tell that they used their speed to their advantage. I think it was Isaacson, very good footballer. I was actually happy to see him go off because I thought he was really good on the night. Sisto, outstanding as well. Uses his speed to its full potential, essentially. But they are young, and you could kind of get into their heads a little bit. And that's exactly what happened on the Red Star goal. Where Sisto made. I thought it was a stupid foul on Kunga. The ball was whipped in by, I believe it was Ben. It's kind of headed out to the left side of the box. Deganek just kind of whips it in without even looking. Diony heads it on to Ivanic. Ivanic puts it away. Ivanic is another player that I spoke about in the recent vlog, saying that, he does a lot of things defensively. He's responsible for getting back and really doing a little bit of everything on this team. But with Katay out, we really need him in the offensive end. I thought he showed glimpses of that today. He's kind of breaking out of that rough form, so to say. This goal was huge for him. I thought he slotted it nicely. I was actually watching with my dad, and I'm like, we're really fortunate that we're up 1-0 because we could easily be down at least a goal, maybe even 2. But the way that we played, we kind of kept it tight and compact for the next 20 minutes. But eventually, there was a hit from about 23 yards out, hits the post, comes back to a striker who put it away. Borjan actually got a hand on it. So Borjan had dove to save it, hit the post, came back, and as he was getting up, he tried to save it, and he just nicked it a little bit. But it was coming. It was for sure it was coming. Lint was a guy that came on for Midtjylland. I thought he was really good on the night. And you question kind of why he didn't start for Bermuda, who is out with an injury, and he's not going to be there in 2 weeks for the return leg. He's probably out for 2 or 3 months. But you kind of question why Lint didn't start. And I think you look ahead to the next game, and you can see a guy like Lint starting that match. Again, being so short in stature, every offensive attack started from the goalkeeper, started from the back line. We're just we're just not cut out for that type of football. I don't think we are, because every time, you give it to Kanga, or sorry, you give it to Sanogo or whoever it is, the first thing is instinct is to boot it upfield. Well, when you have lack of size and not a lot of speed, those balls don't really do anything for you. So the key to Red Star's game is pretty much playing it on the ground, passing it around, and kind of working our way self out to the final third of the opponent. If Pucko was here, I think it'd be a little bit of a different story. Really good in the air. He's a guy who can hold up the ball and wait for guys like Falco, even needs to kind of connect with him, and Ben and whoever it might be. But this was a bad idea, working out like this with Sanogo. And like I said, I get that it worked last game, but last game was just kind of like a special occasion almost, because we just didn't have enough bodies. Missing Kate in this match again was huge. He's someone who can, dictate tempo of a match. He can finish the game with one hit of the ball, which I don't think we had today. Diony had a chance late where the ball was kind of put over his head. He beat the defender. He waited for the ball bounced, once or twice, and he tried to connect with it, and he just collided with the goalkeeper. Again, since Richmond Boachi was on the team, we haven't had an all-out striker who can put the ball in the back of the net. This isn't to say that we didn't create chances today, but even the ones that we had to be a lot better. Right after Midtjylland scored, we had a chance where we worked it up quickly upfield, and Ben, hit the post, which I didn't see live because they're still showing the goal. So that just shows you how quick it was. But in the return leg, I think you take this point knowing that the next two matches, you have Midtjylland and Ludogorets at home, and you want to kind of seal everything by defeating those two teams. And I think the way that the Europa League works this season is a little bit different than last season. It's around 16 next. There's a preliminary round. I honestly have to look it up. I don't know off by heart what's going to happen. But the third place in the group still does go to the Conference League, and you go on from there. But the next two matches are going to be huge because they're two matches at home. We should and we could get all 6 points, and with those points, we'll be up to 13, I guess. 7 plus 6, I think my math is good, 13, and we should be going through, and then depending on if it's a 1 or 2 seed, and then we just kind of have to hope that Braga does falter against either Ludogorets or Midtjylland. Braga defeated Ludogorets today, 1-0 away from home, so they're still keeping up pace with us. They have 6 points, we have 7, but hopefully we could get Katai back. Hopefully we could get Pavko back. I just worry about Katai a little bit because he has other health issues, so maybe the coronavirus hit him a little bit harder. Živković also was out. He's the only kind of speedster that we have, and with how much Falco is struggling, I think it's time to kind of throw Živković into the fire and let him start a few matches. He can play striker, he could play as a winger. I would try to do with Ivanic, Katai and Živković in the front line, and Pavko in the next match. Ben is a little bit out of form as well in the European matches at least. So yeah, I think that this is a good point. I would have loved all 3, but then again, we also could have lost very easily. Midtjylland hit the post twice, and I think we were fortunate. We just didn't create enough going forward, and that's what I hated during the first half. We just showed nothing going forward. Gobelic was awful today as well. And yeah, hopefully next match against Midtjylland, we get all 3 points.